Hello everyone, and welcome to a new JavaScript Mastery video. Are you one of the people that are always watching some YouTubers and their ZSH or something crazy looking terminals with nice themes, Git branches, date and time, and powerful autosuggestions? Yeah, me too. I received hundreds of requests to explain step by step how to set up the best terminal ever. And that's exactly what this video is about. In this short video, I'm going to show you step by step how to set up your terminal to use all of these amazing plugins and themes. We're going to install and set up ZSH, Power Level 10K theme, Git and autosuggestions plugins, and much more. I'll be using macOS for this demo, but don't worry if you're on Windows, I've got you covered. On Windows, you'll have to do just a few extra steps. In the description below, you'll find a complete guide telling you what you have to do. After you're done with the page 1, you can then continue watching the video and the rest of the setup is going to be the same. Even if you're on Mac, I'd recommend to download this document because in here you have all the commands and you can simply copy and paste them and the process is going to be much faster. Without any further ado, let's get started. We're going to start off by opening 3 different things: a Chrome window, a terminal of your choice. Later on, we're going to switch to Visual Studio Code's terminal, and finally, a document that you have downloaded from the description. Don't forget, if you're working on Windows, you'll have to first do the steps on the page 1 of the document. That way, you'll be able to run ZSH. Once you're done with that, you'll be able to continue following along with this video. On Mac, the first thing that we have to do is install something known as homebrew. Homebrew is a package manager for macOS and it allows us to install many different applications. One of these is going to be ZSH. So what you have to do to install homebrew is simply copy and paste this command. You also have it in this document right here. So I'm going to copy that from here and simply paste it in my terminal. It's going to ask me for the password. I already have this installed, so the process for me is going to take just a few seconds. For you, it could take a bit longer. Once homebrew is installed, you can say brew install ZSH. ZSH is a better version of a normal bash terminal. It is faster, more powerful, and it allows for more customization. Once that is done, you can install OhmyZSH. OhmyZSH is a framework for ZSH and it allows you to do crazy things. So in here, you can copy this whole command and simply paste it in your terminal. You can see that's going to say cloning OhmyZSH and quickly enough, it should be installed. You can see OhmyZSH is now installed. For me, it restored the session right here, but for you, you'll most likely have to say yes or just type Y enter to switch to ZSH from just a basic bash. If you clear the console, you can see that you have this tilde sign here. It's not a normal bash anymore. If you weren't switched automatically, what you can do is simply say ZSH and that's going to switch you to ZSH. You can see if you want to get back to bash, you can say bash or say ZSH to get back to this new upgraded terminal. Once that is done, you can click this link here, Power Level 10K theme on GitHub, and this is going to allow you to install the Power Level 10K theme, which looks extremely good. First thing that we want to do is we want to go to OhmyZSH installation. You can see that's right here, and you have to copy this line and paste it in your terminal. I already prepared this line for you here in this document. So let's copy and paste it, and that's going to be it. It says cloning into your folder, and there we go. That is installed. Now, this theme requires a few different fonts. So if you click on this link right here in the document as well, that's going to lead you to all the different fonts that you need for this to run successfully. As you can see here, manual font installation. So the only thing you have to do here is click on all these 4 links. They're going to download TTF fonts, basically installing the font on your device. And finally, you can just click install font. And you can do this for all 4 different versions of this current font right here. Once you install all of these 4 different fonts, you can open the settings. And how do we open the settings of our ZSH? Well, you can say code and then a tilde sign / .zshrc. This is going to open our ZSH settings in our Visual Studio Code. You can see in here, you can customize it all the way you want. The main thing we're looking for here now is this theme, ZSH theme. You want to copy this line from our document, ZSH theme, power level 10K, and you want to override the current theme. Once that is done, you can simply save the file. Okay, to finalize the things, you have to run this command, source, and then the same path, source ~.zshrc. The tilde sign is if you type shift and then the key left of the one key, at least on my keyboard. If you cannot find it, feel free to Google it. Once you run that, that is going to successfully save all the changes into your source, and it is going to start the power level 10K configuration right now. We're going to skip this process for now, so I'm just going to say Q and quit that. Later on, we're going to configure it inside of our Visual Studio Code. So let's do that right now. Let's head to our Visual Studio Code, and in here, we're going to open our terminal. You can do that by going to the top, press View, and finally Terminal right here. Once you have your terminal running, for me currently, it is already ZSH. For you, it might be Bash. So what you want to do is click Select Default Shell, then in here, search for ZSH and click that. Now, to save the changes, you have to press Command-Shift-P and then type Reload Window. Click that, and that's going to restart your Visual Studio Code, hopefully with ZSH now right here in your terminal as the default shell. And there we go. For me, it immediately ran the configuration. But once again, I'm gonna skip that because I wanna make sure that everything is set up for you before we start doing the configuration. So what you have to do is you have to press Command-Shift-P, or I think Control-Shift-P on Windows, or generally just head to Preferences and then Open Settings JSON. For that, you can type Open Settings and then search for JSON. Inside of here, you'll have to add this line right there, terminal.integrated.fontFamily, and you have to set it to the newly installed font, which is Meslow or Meslow, LGS and F. I put that line right here as well, so you can copy this line and then paste it right here. After you do that, we're going to restart our terminal one more time by pressing Command-Shift-P, Reload Window, and that way we'll be sure that we have our font installed and that we are successfully using it. Okay, and one of the final steps in here is to run this configuration wizard. For me, for some reason right now, it ran automatically. If it didn't run automatically for you, I can even show you how to do that. What you have to do is run p10k configure and press enter. There we go. This is a power level 10k configuration wizard. It will ask you a few questions to configure your prompt. In here, you'll be able to choose your styles. If this didn't run, make sure to extend your window just a bit because this requires some space to show. So if you get some kind of an error message, simply expand your terminal window. So now I'm going to choose my options. So let's go through the setup. Does this look like a diamond? Yes. This is a lock, definitely. This is a logo. And yes, all of these fit. It's asking you these questions to check if your font is installed successfully. So I'm just going to click Y for everyone. Now, this thing is going to be a matter of preference. In here, you can choose 1, 2, 3, and 4. What's your preferred terminal? I'm going to go for a lean this time. You can choose how this character is going to look like. Is it going to be Unicode or ASCII? I'm going to go for Unicode. 256 colors for me at least. Show current time, yeah, sure, 24-hour format for me, so I'm gonna press 2. And finally, I'm gonna go for one line here. I'm gonna go with sparse here, so number 2. I don't want everything compact like this. Finally, you can choose if you wanna have many icons like this, or just a few. I like the clean look, so I'm gonna go with few. I'm gonna go with concise, so 1 here. And finally, you can press Y and 1. This is recommended version. And for you, that's going to be it. Looks like I already have a theme, so I'm gonna override it with yes and apply changes. Yes, that is it. If you now clear this, you should see that you have your terminal up and running. It is really clean. It allows you to specify and see all of these things like this. You can clear it. And if you're currently in a folder that has a git initialized there, you'll be able to see on which branch you're currently on. Let's check that out. And would you look at that? I'm currently in my new project. It says that I'm on the main branch and that I have 2 unsaved changes. In here, you can see the time, but again, this is just a minimalistic version. You can make this completely your own. So how can you make changes here? Well, you have to always run code and then this line right here. That's going to open the configuration for you. There we go, the configuration is open. In here, you can change your theme, you can search on Google for many different themes, and in here, you can also specify some other things. You can comment or uncomment some lines, and also, this is a really important thing, in here, you can add custom plugins. So you can see currently, we're using only one plugin, but there's one more which is really important, and we're going to install it together right now. If you go back to this document, in here, you'll see that we have install autosuggestions plugin. Autosuggestions plugin is a really powerful one. Once you type something often like npm start or maybe create react app something, it's going to auto-suggest things for you. And it's really smart, so it's gonna really improve your workflow. The only thing we have to do is copy and paste this line right here to install it. We can do that right here, git clone. And finally, once that is done, we can add this ZSH autosuggestions right next to our git. So in here, don't add a comma, simply add all of them with space separated values. And that is it. You have a full-fledged ZSH with Oh My ZSH terminal, and I'm sure it's going to improve your workflow and productivity quite a lot. Also, I'm gonna give you a bit of a bonus right here. I'm really thankful for all of you watching these videos, and it really means a lot that you're leaving likes, you're commenting, and you're subscribing. So thank you so much one more time, and here's a bonus for you. We're gonna install a Fira code font for Visual Studio Code. I got a ton of requests on which font am I using and how does my font look like this. Triple equals all connected, arrow functions look like this, lower than or equal to looks like this. The font connects all of the characters and generally looks just really clean. So I'm gonna show you how to install the Fira code font. The only thing you have to do is go back in your document and press the Fira code font. There's a link right there. This is going to lead you to the Fira code GitHub page. And right in here, if you scroll just a bit, you'll find the zip download. You can click on that and then open the zip. Inside of here, you'll find some fonts, but the only thing you're looking for is the TTF right here. What you have to do is you have to double click each one of these and then install the font the same as you did with the Meslo font. After the font is installed, you have to go back to Visual Studio Code and we have to set it up. So now, one final time, we're gonna do Command-Shift-B or Control-Shift-B on Windows, and we're gonna press Open Settings JSON. This might be empty for you, but you need to add only one line right there, and that is this thing right here. This might be a bit empty for you, but with this one line we already added for the terminal font, you also have to change the font for the editor. So what you have to put in there is editor.fontFamily and simply say Fira code. And then you need to type editor.fontligatures and then specify that to true. That's going to make these characters look connected. I'm going to put all of this code in the document here at the bottom as well. It was hard making this video because there are a lot of different operating systems and a lot of different configurations for everything. So maybe some of the things that I mentioned right here are going to be just a bit different for you. I really hope you are able to follow along and install your ZSH and that you can now make it your own. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and let me know, would you like some more technical tutorials in the future? What would you like to see? Have a wonderful day and see you in the next video.